Guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm really pleased about to bring you another Escapement Time. It's been some time since I featured one of their watches. For one reason or another, none of them have really sort of clicked with me, but this one's one I've been aware of for a while. I've tried purchasing it a couple of times, kept being out of date. It's their field watch. It's obviously a homage to a more well-known watch. A few different color variations to choose from. I've gone for the sort of burg beigey sort of color. I think it looks really, really nice. Like I said, no points for originality, but sort of the 40-odd-pound price point for what you're getting, for the finishing you're going to get for the VH31 inside. It looks like a great, great proposition. Does it live up to all that? I guess there's no time like the present to find out. If you do like it, please use the affiliate link in the description. Doesn't cost you any more. This helps you out. But we're going to find out together now if it's worth quite a small sum, really. And does it surpass watches they produced? Is it a banger? Let's find out together. So I'll stop going on. It's about that time to get the camera turned around and get on with it.
Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. As you'll see, this is the Escapement Time. Very, very primitive packaging. There's cardboard box outer, a little bit of a foam inner. There's the watch itself, and that's it. That's all you're getting with this watch. Not that you need anything else. Definitely for the price point, I don't think it's really necessary to have anything else really. So yeah, this is the Escapement Time. Like with Escapement Time, generally they don't tend to put model numbers, so that might be something they consider doing in the future. But for the price point these watches are going for, yeah, unbelievable really. But yeah, so this is the Escapement Time. As I said, inside it's running the Seiko VH31 movement. That's why you'll see the sweeping, even though it's a quartz. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. Yeah, I've said many times, these movements are fantastic because they sort of cut the difference between a quartz and an automatic, generally just aesthetically as well. You get the reliability of the quartz. You get a little bit of a sweeping motion, a bit more of a stutter than an automatic watch. But yeah, very, very good in terms of the little bit of a sweep with a quartz. So yeah, it's the VH31 movement. Rugged, reliable, really easy to change out when the time comes. So yeah, there we are. The construction of the watch itself, so aside from the crystal and the strap, it's all 316L stainless steel. So you'll see the case is really well finished, to be honest, sort of like a bead blast or a sandblast finish. I struggle to really know the difference at times, but yeah, it's really nicely finished. So that's the bezel, case. The case back isn't the same, but it's brushed. I'll show that in a few moments. You've got the crown and the pin buckle clasp they've used. Is all 316L stainless steel. The case thickness of the watch, so that's without obviously the strap, it's 10 millimeters. The case diameter, I always measure from the 8 to the 2 because where the crown normally isn't. It's 38 mil bang on. And when you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown when it's screwed up, it's coming at 41.9 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20, and the lug to lug tip, the tip of the watch, is coming at 47.3 millimeters. So extremely good proportions. I obviously it's not, they've not come up with all this themselves. Obviously it's a homage watch, but I think in terms of the proportions, they've done well in terms of the sizing. The bezel is a fixed bezel, as I've already mentioned. The crown is screwed down. You'd have seen when I took it out of the box, I had taken the crown out and left it at the position I wanted it. I just felt that was a little bit more, it makes it easier for myself in terms of when I start the review, because I've been wearing this watch for some time now. The case back, I will let you have a look at the case back. So it's on a NATO style strap. It's not, I wouldn't say it's necessarily the nicest strap you're ever going to get. Very, very thin, but for the price, it does the job. And it's a screw down case back, just with the information on the back there as well. Very, very handy actually, where it tells you the movement inside, and it also tells you the battery you're going to need when the time comes to change it out, which is very rare, to be honest. I think that's a pretty good addition, to be honest, for people that are maybe not so aware of these sort of things. It does make their life a lot easier, so I don't mind that, to be honest. I think that's maybe a good addition. I don't know if it's something that would become commonplace with watches, but it's definitely something that makes life easier for people when the time comes to change the battery out. Screw down case back, so it is going to be nice and simple when that time comes. So there we go. The strap it comes on, as I said, is like a canvas style strap. Very, very thin. It does the job, given the price. You can't expect much more. This on a pin buckle clasp, which is sterile, a little bit different, which is pretty cool, to allow you to get the perfect fit. So you can always put it in different holes. You can maybe fold it over once through one of the holes, just to make it sort of the size you need. I haven't needed to do that, but I do think that's a good addition in terms of sometimes the sort of NATO style straps, you do have them overhanging. So that's a nice addition. The crystal covering the dial is a mineral crystal. I've been quite impressed actually with the clarity on this crystal, given I wasn't too sure what to expect, but the crystal itself in practicality has been working really, really well. Yeah, it's a mineral crystal. The water resistance of the watch is 100 meters. So that would give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance. I've said many, many times though, guys, do bear in mind that these watches are not certified to any degree. So yeah, I wouldn't testify to the fact that you're going to be able to take it swimming or not. The fact the crystal is well seated, the crown and case back are all screwed down. I wouldn't say there's a problem with taking it swimming, but do bear in mind it's not certified. The weight will appear in the top right. It's 57 grams, bang on, which is a good weight as well, really, given the size and proportion of the watch, and also given the fact that it's on a canvas strap. So there we are. But let's have a look at the dial in a bit more detail. So nothing's been applied onto this dial. Everything's been printed on. You've got an inverted triangle every hour. You got a minute track in and around that with obviously a black line. Inside that, you got numerals. You got 24 hours. You got 1 to 12 larger, 13 to 24 for the 24 hour. Just inside that, you got escapement time printed onto the dial just below the sort of 12, 24 hour on the dial. You got China made. So that's just establishing the fact that it's made in China. They haven't. Sometimes what they will do with these sort of watches, they put Japan movement. They got different iterations of what they put there. You got black hands with good proportions. Actually, I think they reached probably just about where they need to be. The owl hand maybe could have been slightly longer, but otherwise, I think in terms of what they've done with the hands, the proportions are good. It's a stark white dial, not enamel. It's just sort of like paper, if you like. But it does the job. And like I said, for the price you're paying for this watch, I dare say we can't expect an awful lot. But yeah, as you can see with the VH31 running inside, that sweep isn't too bad, is it? I think it works pretty well. Yeah. So you got the black, you got the white, obviously, and you got this sort of patina, sort of yellow, which continues onto the inside of the hands. Slightly lighter than the inverted triangle, but it's there anyway. I'll bring the loom up now. The loom for the style of watch and for the price is actually pretty good, to be honest. I wasn't sure what to expect. I've had a few escapement times in. They tend to do okay in terms of loom, but they are very, very affordable. So if they can do it, it does beg the question as to why some of the other companies who offer sort of more expensive watches can't offer reasonable loom, doesn't it? I think anyway. But yeah, as I said before, that's us. You got a VH31 running inside. There's no ghost position. You take it out once it's unscrewed. There's only one position. You pull it out of the hack. You put it back in. It's going to start up again. As I said, when it's out, you can just change the time to whatever you want to put it to. Very, very simple. No issues. And in terms of screwing it up, generally, I've had no issues. Even with the gloves on, you'll see it's really simple, to be honest. There's been no problems with the knurling and stuff done there. But that's the dial, guys. That's everything going on there, the movement, the loom. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. So guys and girls, this is what it looks like on my wrist. I think it works really well on my 7-inch wrist. You'll see in terms of the strap length, it's basically perfect, isn't it, in terms of where it comes to. But I do think given what you can do there in terms of putting it in and folding it back over, I definitely think it's going to work for you as well. Not too long, so you ain't got to tuck it in and stuff or cut it. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I think it's a really pretty thing. I do like the colour strap in terms of how it matches with the sort of inverted triangles and the sort of Fotina look, sort of yellow colour. Really cool. So there we are. Okay, so guys and girls, that would now take me on to what I think is pants and Pukka about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you'll know I always start with pants. I like to kind of hide with Pukka. So what I think is pants about the watch. Not a great deal, because I think for the money you're paying, this offers tremendous value and will last and last. There's a couple of things I'm going to mention. I'm going to go with the strap. Although I'd like to say it's really expensive, that the strap feels quite cheap, if I'm honest. But yeah, that's because I'm only really saying it because I need to find some stuff. But I mean, for the price, it's probably to be expected. But yeah, the strap isn't amazing. And the other thing I'm going to say is the lack of sort of like a model number. I would like to see engagement time, maybe put some model numbers on their watches. I know they're Homage watches, but that doesn't need to prevent them from coming up with their own model number, because it does make life a little bit easier. So there are two things I'd go with. I'll go with the strap and lack of model number. What I think is Pukka is I'll go with the dial. I like everything. I like the dial generally. I like the way it's put together. I like the way it looks. The movement, the Seiko VH31 movement in a watch like this keeps it affordable, keeps it reliable, and just does bits in terms of the sweep. The loom, especially for the 40 £40 price point, it caught me off guard in terms of the loom. I wasn't expecting it. The size, very very well sized, very compact in terms of the way it wears, the way it feels on the wrist. The clasp, like I said, I do like that clasp in terms of, like I said, if you wanted to put it in, wrap it over, just so you can make it a bit shorter, if it's rather than overhanging, I think that's really good. The general look of the watch, like I said, the watch is homaging, is a great watch. It's one that I need to add to my collection. But if for someone who can't afford that, this is definitely gonna tickle your fancy. And the price, like I said, 40 quid, for about $50 ish. I think that's unbelievable value for money. You're only looking a little bit above a Casio, and I think this is a really really striking sort of homage at a very very affordable price. So they're the things I'll mention. I'll go with the dial, movement, loom, size, clasp, general look, and the price of the watch generally. And guys and girls, would I recommend the watch? Most certainly. I think with what Escapement Time are doing at the minute, some of their affordable pieces, tremendous, well thought out, well executed in terms of the watches they're homaging. But yeah, I would. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch. More importantly, maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.